Welcome to Moments Almanac on Scattered Moments. Today is July 24th. On the morning of July 24th, 1915, more than 2,000 Western Electric employees and their families climbed aboard 5 steamships tied up along the Chicago River. They wore their Sunday best for a Saturday outing and crowded the rails of a ship called the Eastland to wave at friends still on the dock. Nobody boarding that morning knew the Eastland had been quietly retrofitted over the years with extra decks, making her dangerously top-heavy. At 7:28, still tied to the pier, the Eastland rolled onto her side in 25 feet of water. In less than 2 minutes, 844 people were dead, most of them without ever leaving the dock. It remains one of the deadliest disasters in American history, and almost no one saw it coming, because there was nothing to see. No storm, no fire, no collision. Just an ordinary Saturday that tipped over. 41 years earlier, on that same day, July 24th, a Baptist minister's son named Oswald Chambers was born in Aberdeen, Scotland. Chambers grew up watching his father preach. And as a teenager, he heard Charles Spurgeon, an encounter that shaped how seriously he took what it meant to belong to Christ. He drifted into theology almost by accident, and eventually found his calling not in one dramatic moment, but in a discipline of daily obedience. Faithfulness proven in the next 5 minutes, not some future achievement. He founded a small Bible college in London, then closed it to serve as a wartime chaplain in Egypt, ministering to soldiers headed for Gallipoli. He died there in 1917 at just 43 from complications after giving up a hospital bed to a wounded soldier who needed it more. His wife, Biddy, spent the rest of her life transcribing his sermons from shorthand notes, and one became My Utmost for His Highest. Still read daily more than a century later, Chambers never wrote a survival guide for catastrophe. He wrote about staying ready in the ordinary 5 minutes that would make up most of a life, which is a strange kinship between a devotional writer and a sinking ship, I know. The Eastland passengers had done nothing wrong. They simply boarded a boat that they had every reason to trust. Jesus once warned his disciples, "Therefore, you must also be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect." He was not speaking about accidents or predicting disasters. He was teaching his followers to live every ordinary day in a quiet readiness, hearts awake to God, because none of us know when our earthly story will be complete. The book of Proverbs echoes that same wisdom. Don't boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what the day may bring forth. That's not a threat. It's an invitation to receive today as God's gift instead of assuming tomorrow is ours by right. Chambers, he built his life around that kind of readiness, not anxious or morbid, just present enough to obey God in the moment he was given. And perhaps that's why the old hymn still rings true. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. The families waving from the Eastland's rail that morning had no warning, and their grief deserves to be taken seriously. Not folded into a tiny moral, but their story resting beside Chambers on the calendar still asks a question. If today were the whole of it, would anything that truly mattered be left undone? Or, as Moses prayed in Psalm 90, teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Numbering our days is not counting how many remain. It's learning the value of the one that we have been given. Chambers would say the answer isn't found in working harder or feeling more spiritual. It's found in trusting God with today and obeying Him in it. The poet Henry Francis Lyte captured that same quiet confidence. Swift to its close ebbs out life's little day. Earth's joys grow dim, its glories pass away. Change and decay in all around I see. O thou who changest not, abide with me. History reminds us how fragile life can be. Christ reminds us how faithful God is. And that's today's Moments Almanac for July 24th. I hope you'll join me tomorrow. Until then, take care. Notice the scattered moments and share the grace.